Hello class, hello 4th grade. It's super good that you are here today. I hope you are ready to start with this class. First of all, I want to start by doing a review about the activities that we did yesterday. The activities that we did yesterday were for the student's book, and also we did an activity for the notebook so we could practice the grammar that we learned. Today we're going to review about this. This was like you had to copy this on your notebook, as you know, and then you needed to complete like would like. For example, number 1, the answer was, what would you like? And the answer will say, I'd like some grilled cheese sandwich, or we would like some grilled cheese sandwich. And that was it. So you should follow the instruction and the grammar. And today we're going to do a review about a similar topic like would like, but today we're going to add would like to try. Remember that I told you that when you say to try, in this case it means like probar, when you are going to try a food or something like that for the first time, when you haven't eaten, like for example, in my case, I've never eaten like Japanese food, for example, and I will say I would like to try Japanese food, or I would like to try Korean food, something like that. And yes, so that's it. Remember that it means when you are going to eat something that you haven't tried. You can use it in different areas, but in this case, remember that the unit is about food around the world. So we are talking about food, of course. So I have some examples in here. They look like the ones that we did yesterday, but they are different. They say, would like to try, and it says the first one, would you like to try chicken curry? It was in the vocabulary. So we start our question with would. Then we have the subject, you, it can be she, he, it, like to try, and the rest of the question. Don't forget the question mark. And you can answer, yes, I would, no, I wouldn't, okay? Or in this case, yes, she would, no, she wouldn't, okay? This is a negative form. Would not, wouldn't is the same. Yes, they would, no, they wouldn't. This is super important that you remember that you are going to use would or wouldn't for he, she, it, I, you, we, they. It's the same formula. You just change the subject or yes or no. So I have another example. It's similar. Would she like to try some cereal? Yes, she would. No, she wouldn't. Would they like to try some rice? Yes, they would. No, they wouldn't. And then we have the structure, how to make these questions. And as I told you, if you want to copy this, it's super going to help you. Please try to copy this on your notebook, because it's super important that you have this on your notebook, okay? It's going to help you when you study for this exam, the next exam. So we start the questions with would, then we add the subject, and then we add like to try, the food, and the question mark. Let's look at the last example. It says would, okay, I have would. Then it says subject, okay, my subject in this case is they. Like to try, okay, I have like to try, and the food, some rice, and the question mark. It's super important. Even though it's not necessary to say that the question mark goes because it's a question, sometimes you don't remember this, and it's super important to add the question mark. And the question says, would they like to try some ice? And that's it. So right now we can go to the activity for the student's book, and I hope you have your student's book by your side. If you don't have it, please, you can check the pages that I'm adding to the assignment so you can do these activities, because I don't know why, but the pictures look like really small. But yeah, So we're going to work on students book pages 34 and 35. And we say contact connection, and we're going to do the first activity, and it's activity 12. The instruction says, listen and read. What does the plate show? And we're going to listen to this audio, to this reading, and I want you to follow the listening, the audio, the reading. If you want, you can read it aloud because it's going to help you. And pay attention because we're going to do the next activity using the information from this text. So let's listen to the audio carefully.
Students Book, page 34, Activity 12. Listen and read. What does the plate show? A healthy diet. It's breakfast time. You're hungry and you say, "Mom, can I have a chocolate muffin?" But your mom says, "How about something healthy? Let's eat some cereal or fruit for breakfast instead." Why does your mom say this? Because your diet is important for your good health. A balanced diet is the best way to stay healthy. You should eat the right amount of grains, vegetables, fruit, protein, such as chicken, and dairy every day. The chart below is called My Plate. It shows the right balance of different food groups that your diet should have. The vegetables section is bigger than the protein section, so you should eat more vegetables than protein, such as meat. The grains section is bigger than the fruit section, so eat more grains like corn than fruit. The dairy section is smaller than the others, so eat fewer dairy foods such as cheese and yogurt than any other. For a healthy body and mind, use the My Plate chart as a guide when you eat and follow these simple rules. Eat food you like, but don't eat too much. Eat a lot of fruit and vegetables. About half of what you eat should be fruit and vegetables, such as apples, carrots, and greens. Eat whole grains. Half of your grains should be whole grains, such as whole grain bread and pasta. Try to choose fat-free or low-fat milk, not whole milk, as too much fat is bad for you. Stay away from food that is too salty. Drink a lot of water. Don't choose sugary drinks. Can you sometimes eat bad foods? Yes, of course, but don't eat too much. If you fill half of your plate with vegetables and stay away from too much fat, sugar, and salt, you'll stay in good health.
Okay, very good. If you want to listen to it again, you can do it. So right now we have activity 13, and the instruction says, look at 12, copy the chart, and complete. And we have 3 columns, and it says food group, examples, and recommendations. So we have some examples in here, and you are going to fill in the blanks. The food group says fruit and vegetables. Then number 2, you are going to add 1, grains and protein. Examples, you need 1, 2, bread, pasta, and meat. Then recommendation, eat a lot of this, choose fat-free or low-fat milk, and you need to add 4 and number 6. Okay, so Team Big Activity says, what can happen when you don't eat a healthy diet? What happened to your body, to all of you, if you get sick, if you aren't healthy, what happens to your body, to your mind also, because if you are eating healthy, it helps to your brain. What happens in your body and everything, in every area? You answer that, and when you finish, you can go to the next page, that is page 35, and we have exercise 14. In that exercise, the instruction says, read quickly, circle the correct answer. School lunches can be hot or cold in Zambia and Italy, or England and Japan. You might answer correctly. Okay, so school lunches, and you're going to read it. Every day, all over the world, eat lunch at school. Some kids bring food for home, but many get their lunch from the school cafeteria. Let's take a look at what kids in different countries around the world might be eating for lunch today. Okay, and you are going to read all of this, and when you're finished, it says hot, cold, big, or small. School lunches are very different around the world. What is in yours today? And when you finish this, we are going to listen to it again. Activity 15 that says listen and read, say the country or countries. And we are going to listen to it again so you can do the activity.
Student's Book, page 35. Activity 15. Listen and read. Say the country or countries. School lunches. Every day, kids all over the world eat lunch at school. Some kids bring food from home, but many get their lunch from the school cafeteria. Let's take a look at what kids in different countries around the world might be eating for lunch today. In Japan, kids eat lunch in their classroom. Students clear their desks, then 4 or 5 pupils take turns serving the food each day. Rice and soup are often part of school lunches in Japan. Some kids bring boxes of cold rice, fish cakes, and vegetables for lunch. They're carefully and beautifully prepared because in Japan, the way food looks is very important. In England, some schools provide hot lunches, but most kids bring lunch from home. Sandwiches with fillings such as cheese, ham, tomatoes, or tuna are popular, and there is often a piece of fruit, a bag of chips, a juice box, and a cookie. Lunch is usually a small meal because dinner is the main meal of the day in England. In Zambia, many kids eat a dish called nshima for lunch. In fact, people in Zambia often eat nshima for both lunch and dinner. Nshima is a sticky dough made from white ground maize. People eat nshima with their hands. They dip it into tasty sauces and usually eat it with some hot meat or fish. In Italy, the food in school lunches is often organic or grown naturally without chemicals so as to be healthier. The food also comes from farms near the schools. These hot lunches usually include pasta or a rice dish called risotto. Most schools in Italy serve meat only once or twice each week. Hot, cold, big, or small, school lunches are very different around the world. What's in yours today?
Okay, so now we can do this activity. Well, number 1, kids eat in their classroom, and you're going to write next to it the country. It can be Japan, it can be England, Italy, or Zambia. Number 2 says food is from a farm. Number 3, kids eat with their hands. Number 4, kids eat rice. Number 5, there is something sweet with the meal. And number 6, lunch and dinner are often the same. Okay, so it says, Team Big, which lunchtime meal from the text is similar to yours? Here in Mexico or at home, maybe sometimes we have, even though we are from the same country, we have different traditions at home. So which one is similar to the one that you have at home? Maybe the one from Zambia, from Italy, England, or Japan? And the next question says, what is it important to eat regularly? We learn here to eat a healthy diet, etc. So you might think about this and write your answer. So then we have an activity for the notebook, so you can practice the topic that we reviewed, that we learned today at the beginning of the class. So it says notebook activity, copy on your notebook and complete look at the example. This time I added an example so you could do it easily. Would she like to try some curry? Yes, she would. Or no, she wouldn't. So it's similar. You just need to remember the structure. I gave you the structure when I explained this topic. If you copy it in your notebook, you can look at this and check it. So remember, you always need to start your questions with would, then you have the subject, and then you need to add like to try. And then you have some grilled cheese sandwich, some oatmeal, some cookies, some rice, some ice cream, some fruit. And then you are going to write the answer. No, I wouldn't, or no, he wouldn't, no, she wouldn't, or yes, he would, yes, I would, yes, she would. Okay, so that's it. And please try to pay attention to it. Copy the activity on your notebook, write the date and your name. Also, the activities for the students book, you need to write your name and also the date. Send the pictures to me, please. Try to do the activities on time so you're not getting behind with your activities. I know that we did 2 activities, two pages from the students book and also an activity for the notebook, but the ones from the students book weren't that difficult, right? They were just like listening and writing Japan Sembia, and that was super easy, super fast to do. So that's it. Remember that I'm going to meet you tomorrow, because tomorrow we have the Zoom meeting. We are going to be using our Step Inside book, and I hope you are ready to be there. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a nice day. Be on time. Goodbye.